Don't be alarmed. This is not your imagination. This is not illusion. Yes, we are only using one screen. Yes, we hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
Yes, folks, this is a live side-by-side edition of the Mizzle Dub Show. Of all the times we've been together in the past 2 years, we finally get to do a show side by side. It's happening, folks. So don't adjust your sets. So when you watch this show on YouTube, yes, you'll only see one screen, one computer. A lot of things have happened in the world of sports. Unfortunately, we lost two tremendous, gigantic pillars in the world of sports, and we'll get to that. And the news I just gave my partner here made him the most happiest man alive because I almost played the Hollywood course. But this is the last weekend without any kind of football until February. And needless to say, he's going into that place where the voices in his head are smelling what he's cooking. But nonetheless, welcome to a very special edition of the Mizzle Dub Show.
Yes.
He's Mizzle. I'm Dub. And yes, we're actually in the same area at the same place at the same time, actually doing a show.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? But tragic things happen in sports, but we also had a preseason game that happened.
Yes.
Which just happened to involve the team that he roots for.
Yeah, it is.
We'll get into that. We'll get into other training camp stories. But first, as mentioned, we lost two gigantic pillars. First, without question, we lost the absolute greatest winner in the history of civilization, in the history of sports, the legendary Mr. Bill Russell, peacefully, and yes, indeed, rest in peace, peacefully passed away at the age of 88. For a long time, I said the captain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, had the greatest basketball career of all time.
Agreed.
I now have to put Mr. Russell in that category just because of what he accomplished from high school up until the pros. An amazing stat that was pointed out by the legendary Bob Ryan of the Boston Globe. 21 winner-take-all games in his career. His record, 21-0. When it's on the line, Mr. Russell never lost a game.
Wow.
And I know how many people say Michael's the GOAT, and there's a real legit reason of why he can be.
Our time.
Certainly in our era, our era, our generation. But, and I know for most people, it starts in the way because, yes, he went 6-0 in the finals, but Mr. Russell has more rings than fingers.
Well, and two of those
as a player coach. Yes, his last two.
Who can put that on their resume?
His last two as player coach. He was the architect. He was the piece behind the Celtic dynasty with Red Auerbach, who put it together with Russell, Kuzi, Havlicek, Sam Jones, Casey Jones, Paul Silas, John Thompson, Don Nelson. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Yes.
Like I said, we may never, certainly in our lifetime, we may never see a team win 8 consecutive championships because it just doesn't be done in this day and age in sports, especially with free agency roaming around like the way it is. But
the closest we got is what, 3, 4? Because who have we seen win consecutive? Was it
other than perhaps
Bulls,
maybe
Bulls 3?
Well, they have 3-peated twice and did 6 in 8.
Yes. How many did Kobe and Shaq win? Was it?
They won 3 straight.
3 straight. Okay.
But they went to 4 finals in a 5 years. They went to 4 finals in a 5-year span.
Okay. So we've seen that the highest of our finals watching, we've seen the 3.
Yeah.
The most.
Okay.
So 8 straight would never be.
No. Yeah, I mean, and as much as we like to chive LeBron and get on LeBron, the fact that he himself went to 8 straight finals, which is quite the accomplishment.
He didn't win 8.
He didn't win 8, but got to 8 straight. But that's that's here nor there. Yeah. But I mean, even seeing the run that Alabama's been on, they haven't won 4 straight national championships, and their run has been fantastic. But you figure you win 11 championships in 13 years. winning 8 consecutive of those. I mean, it's insane, but
Ridiculous, if you ask me.
it is. But the fact that not only was Bill Russell champion on the court, but what he did off the court, what he did for civil rights, what he did for people of color, is just amazing. But of course, one thing that Bill's not afraid of, Bill's not afraid to speak his piece. And Bill's not afraid to tell you how he felt.
I still
kick your ass. But I mean, he is a pillar when it comes to the NBA. He is a pillar in the city of Boston. But of course, for us, he is a pillar of Bay Area royalty. He is Oakland's finest.
Yes,
by way of Louisiana.
Yes.
And also, he went to the University of San Francisco. Led the Dons to 2 straight national championships before being drafted by Boston. The NBA Finals MVP bears his name. So that will be forever tied to that trophy.
Yes.
But certainly, if you want to know about Bill Russell's legacy, just look him up. Go through the archive footage. Him in the 60s, along with Kareem, along with Muhammad Ali, along with Jim Brown, along with Dr. King and Malcolm, trying to implement his help to civil rights movement. It's a tremendous man. His legacy is unmatched, and certainly, without question, he is the greatest winner of all time.
No doubt about that for me. I mean, 11, 2-player coach. I mean, that nothing else needs to be said.
Nothing else needs to be said.
It's just rest in heaven up there, man. And
well, him and Wilt have a pickup game of one-on-one in the pearly gates and entertaining the Most High God with Chick Hearn and Johnny Most doing play-by-play.
That one-on-one battle is probably ridiculous right now.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
There will never be a best of 7.
No.
Never.
Then, unfortunately, this week, we learned on Tuesday, and certainly for me, this kind of hits home because, of course, our motivation for doing the show is part of the interruption with Wilbon and Kornheiser. Also, for me, those that have known me since they've known me that I've wanted to do play-by-play, and the man that inspired me to want to do play-by-play, without question, some would say the GOAT when it comes to baseball announcing, the great Vin Scully, passed away at the age of 94. A tremendous life indeed. Yes, he did. We learned his passing, oddly enough, during the middle of the Giants playing the Dodgers.
Go figure.
On Tuesday.
Go figure.
As if there was a time for Vin to go, it would be the team that he grew up for, because he did grow up a Giants fan. We'll get to that story in a minute. And of course, the team that he worked for 67 years until he retired in 2016 would be playing each other. But of course, like I said, he's been my motivation to want to do play-by-play because he's the best that has ever done it.
Yep.
So many memories behind the microphone. And as I've always said, before I knew him as the voice of the Dodgers, for me, I knew him as the voice of the NBC Game of the Week when NBC had Major League Baseball back in the 80s. So watching him and Joe Garagiola in the 80s was just as traditional as my grandparents taking me to church on Sunday morning from 5th Street. So that's how I come to know who Vin Scully was. Of course, before any of his Dodger calls, of course, the 2 calls that came to mind for me was Bill Buckner's error in Game 6 of the 86 World Series. The ball goes to the legs, Raynad scores, the Mets force Game 7, of course. Kirk Gibson's famous home run, which my grandfather lost his mind because he was a lifelong Dodger fan. Of course, that was not the only sport Vin Scully did.
This is true.
Vin Scully also did golf for CBS and NBC, and also did the NFL for CBS for 7 years. And of course, his most famous game that he ever did was his last football game, which just happened to be the guy behind the mic that launched the Niner Dynasty of the 80s, of course, The Catch. Vin Scully and Hank Stram did that game for CBS. And of course, the story is
a Niner.
Go figure. And as great as Pat Summerall and John Madden were together, a story. The first half of the season, Summerall teamed with Madden in 1981, and the second half, Vin Scully teamed with Madden to see who John Madden had better chemistry with, and they went with Summerall and Madden, which, of course, greatest combination in football ever to do it.
Legendary.
But there was a chance that you could have had Vin Scully and John Madden be the number one play-by-play analyst team for CBS. So, as they let CBS give the Super Bowl to Madden and Summerall, and in turn, Vin Scully got to do the championship game, and thus Scully left CBS to become the main guy for the NBC game of the week, which was going to go to Dick Enberg, but NBC told Enberg, well, we chose Scully, which Dick Enberg understood. And as a nice gift for being a good pro, NBC gives Dick Enberg a nice $100,000 check, which was, big stuff back in the 80s, obviously.
Easy.
But
Easy.
obviously, Vin Scully did the Dodgers for 7 years. Red Barber, the Hall of Famer, hand chose Scully after Scully did a college football game on the rooftop of Fenway Park in Boston in the cold. And thus, from 1950 to 2016, Vin Scully was obviously the voice of the Dodgers. So now all of his Dodger buddies that were awaiting on him has now joined them. So certainly our thoughts first go to the Scully family.
Yes.
And the Russell family, because those are two big pillars in the world of sports.
Agreed.
Now,
Agreed.
We can talk some football. Because the football game actually took place this past Thursday in Canton, Ohio, the Hall of Fame game. And we'll get to the candidates that just entered the Hall of Fame this past Thursday. And while we're here, might as well get the music ready because it did involve his beloved team that he roots for.
Oh, you don't have to. I don't think America knows who I root for. There's not a shadow of a doubt.
We still have to play the music.
Well,
just because
I won't say no.
Of course you won't.
I definitely will not say no. But since we're going to go ahead and talk about it, you can sit back with this one. I got this one.
Oh, go have at it.
So, while Cliff Branch finally gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, long overdue, and I'm sick and tired of the Hall of Fame putting Raiders in after they die, here nor there. But there was a game plan, and Josh McDaniels came with a game plan. And with that game plan, he showed you just a little bit of what we can get with this Raider team. Now, a lot of Raider Nation was asking, why is Josh Jacobs out there for that long? I question that too. But after doing my research and understanding, he wanted certain groups to get hit. He wanted that tackling aspect that they won't get in practice because, of course, with this new CBA, a lot of these players, they're pansies. Yes, they're crybabies. They're millionaires. They're crybabies. We grew up in an era where there was 2 days. You practice from the sun up to sundown.
In pads.
All that stuff like that,
in pads.
Whatever, but here or there. They don't practice it that much. But Josh Jacobs ran hard. My goodness, that Georgia Bulldog.
Yes.
Zamir White, he ran hard. And guess what? Amir Abdullah, who I was a big fan of coming out of college, he even got some love. And guess what that Josh McDaniels showed you? Toss sweeps, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't seen the Raiders run a toss sweep since I think Harvey Williams was running back. Yeah, that long ago. I went that far.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I could have said Charlie Garner, but here we go.
Or Napoleon Kaufman.
Also, what was ran in the arsenal was screens. Screens. Law starting in the NFL, if you ask me. It works if it's run properly. And if you was watching the game, it was ran right with Josh Jacobs, Zamir White, Amir Abdullah, Kenyon Drake. I can go on all night. But what I saw out of this was that the Raiders really didn't break it up. They kept the same core that Gruden and Mayock drafted and brought in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Few pieces are gone.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that lets me know it was coaching. Gruden was outdated. As I was excited about Gruden, but I was skeptical about his playbook. That just lets you know. I know it's one preseason game, but it looks different. It does not look like Gruden. And it looks like something that's crisp, even though there was a fumble involved. But pretty much Alex Leatherwood, breath of fresh air. It's almost like he needed a different coaching staff, a more modern day offense instead of going back into the old school. So I'm not too high off the first preseason game, but it opened my eyes to see what this offense is capable of. Now, the defense was very vanilla, but there was pressure there. I like Malcolm Coots. He was getting there. Putting Nate Hobbs out at corner just lets me know that man can play inside out, which is awesome. And I'm loving what McDaniels is bringing. If you're going to be on this team, you're going to have to play multiple positions because injuries are going to happen. There's 17 games being played now. So you guys need to know how to be interchangeable parts. So,
but it feels like there's more depth on the team as in years past.
Well, there's always been depth there. It's just that it was never coached right. You can always see that where your attention was. Well, your attention is always going to be on your number ones. You're always going to focus on the number ones and whoever comes in to sub.
But does it feel like with this particular coaching staff and this particular regime, does it feel like there's really more attention to detail now than it has been before in a long, long time?
Oh, I would definitely agree to that. You can definitely see, like I said, these are the same players that were there last year. It was some of the same players that were there a year before with Gruden. You see more detailed. You see that, and even not on the field, but you hear in press conference, they're taking accountability for their mistakes. The coaching staff does not have to be really yelling at them or anything like that. They know when they make a mistake, they're running laps. They don't want to run laps no more. They want to get everything right. So, I mean, I kind of figured this when they brought in the Patriot mentality because, I mean, Ziegler and McDaniels are coming from winning traditions. They've been winning. It's almost like how we're talking about LeBron and Russell. They just know what to do. So I just hope that I believe in McDaniels. I believe he's going to put the right 53 out on the field. It's going to be competitive. I'm not saying we're going to the Super Bowl. I'm not even going to say playoffs. I'm just going to say we're going to be competitive. I'm looking forward to year 2 more than I am. I'm really excited for year 1. Don't get me wrong. I'm not skipping ahead, but I'm not going to have this high expectation like, oh, yeah, we got McDaniels. McDaniels has learned from Denver.
Which he has.
Well, of course. I just know that it's not going to, even though things can turn overnight, we've seen teams go from 1-15 to 13-3.
It has happened.
And in the playoffs.
Yes, it has.
Can I see it happen with the Raiders? Yes. Do I have high expectations? Yes. But I'm more looking forward to it, even though you're not supposed to, but year 2. I'm excited for what year 1 is going to bring because it's going to be they're learning a new offense. The defense is going to have to learn new things, but can we catch light in the bottle? Yes. We showed you last year how about that, winning 4 or 5 games in a row to even get in the playoffs. And guess what? We barely lost to the Bengals who made it to the Super Bowl. So just think now we don't have no controversy. Everything is gone. You know, Henry Ruggs, Damon Arnett, John Gruden. You know, even though we ended on a not a good positive note, we lost in the playoffs. That's not a positive, but that team didn't fold. That's one thing. If you can look at most of our videos back then when we were talking about the Raiders, they didn't fold. Where any other team, I think, would have folded in the stuff that was going on.
And I still say a lot of that went to Biasacha, who did a tremendous job.
Hell of a job.
Did a tremendous job.
I wouldn't have been mad if they gave him the job because you can see that team was ready to run through a wall for that.
They
man.
was.
So I would have been okay with that.
But I get it. Dave Ziegler wanted his own guy. And Josh McDaniels felt like now this was the right chance to be the head coach and make up for what he didn't do in Denver.
Yes.
And I mean, you can already see that he is adapted or adopted the Raider way.
Well, if you listen to his press conference after the game, and he was like, the first play that you noticed they tried to go deep with the bomb. That was in honor of Al Davis and Mark, because if you know anything about the Raiders, we love to air it out.
Well, like Al said,
forget a run game.
Like Al said, we want to stretch the field vertically. We didn't want first downs.
Yes.
We wanted touchdowns.
Yes. And
we take what we want.
that's what I was about to say next. So I'm good with I'm okay. I'm not nervous. Normally I get nervous. But I'm gonna give you one big highlight that made it feel surreal for me was seeing Devontae Adams officially in pads.
Did
with a helmet on.
you pinch yourself?
No, I didn't pinch myself. I was starstruck. It was almost like, okay, it's real.
Well, like I said, I saw these two live play together as Fresno State Bulldogs.
It was a beautiful thing.
And the rapport was
But just think, I don't even want them to replicate the whole thing in Fresno. If they can just give me a fraction, just a piece of what they produced at Fresno State, awesome.
Well, you know they want to try to get more because, like I said, these two, kind of like us, have known each other for years.
Yeah,
they're practically brothers from another, like we are.
Yes.
And it's just I mean, you saw the pictures of him decked out in a Tim Brown jersey. So it's no mistake that his family have been Raider fans their whole lives.
Mm-hmm.
And as you said in the interview with Melissa Stark, even though they were happy for me being in the NFL, their family was still lifelong Raider fans, even though he's playing in cold, frigid Green Bay. But Derek Carr was determined to get his BFF on the team, although he still hasn't bought him the car yet. But like I said, whatever it takes to get Devontae to come play with me, it happened.
Yeah.
Now, I have been on a hiatus talking about my football team because I was tired of hearing about, are they going to trade Debo? Are they not going to trade Debo? Or the other? And people kept asking me, how do you feel about my team? I said, until they figure out what they're going to do with number 19, I am not going to talk about my team. Needless to say, I was on a strike with him because, again, I was tired of hearing about all the drama. I'm like, I don't want to hear about it. Decide what you're going to do with Mr. Samuel. Then once we come to the conclusion, then I can talk about my team. Well, they re-signed him for 3 years. And, of course, in his contract comes with incentives on what he might get as a running back. But now that he's signed and we don't have to worry about this drama for 3 more years, now I can talk about my team that plays in the middle of a damn amusement park in a hotel parking lot.
What you gonna do with number 10 though, man? What that's still in the books.
Well, first and foremost, they finally got rid of D Ford's ass, which I never understood why they traded him in the first place. And why in the heck they extended him. Okay. 3 seasons.
3
seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Only was available for 18 games.
Mm-mm.
And most of that came in his first season in 2019.
Boy, did I poke fun at you for that.
Oh, you was like, why?
Boy, oh my goodness. Wasn't he the one that jumped offside multiple times that cost him the playoff win?
No, that was the Chiefs. He was still a Chief.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, but the Chiefs, the Chiefs could have went to 3 straight Super Bowls, much to your chagrin. Because Brady ended up throwing an interception, but because D jumped off sides, it nullified and void the INT. So the highest Monday night game ever possibly could have been a Super Bowl rematch if D did jump offside.
Twice.
Yeah, twice. Anyhow, yes, the elephant in the room is, of course, what are they going to do about one James Richard Garoppolo?
Porno star Jimmy.
To which, again, he was trying to let the shoulder heal on its own. Didn't happen. Have to end up getting surgery. Some people ask why he didn't get it sooner. Did you really want a rookie Trey Lance going into the playoffs as your quarterback?
Oh, certain Niner fans did.
Certain Niner fans did, yes. But, again, I know people have their feelings towards Garoppolo, as do I. But here's what you can't argue.
He's a winner.
33-14 in the regular season is 33-14 in the regular season. Winning 70% of your games in the regular season is winning 70% of your games in the regular season.
Can you win in the playoffs?
Well,
ain't that where it counts?
That's where it counts.
That's where the money is. That's where the money's made, right?
Correct. Granted, yes, Garoppolo has 2 playoff losses. Unfortunately, they come in the biggest stage of the NFL and the second biggest stage in the NFL. As I've said many times, for most of my adult life, mostly the Niners have sucked with inconsistency, not making it to the playoffs yearly. But for whatever reason, when they do get into the playoffs, for whatever reason, it either ends with a Super Bowl loss or ends with a loss in the conference championship game. So they make deep playoff runs.
This is true.
But when it comes right down to it, when all the money is on the table,
as much as I hate to love to say it, but yeah,
they don't do it.
This is true.
Of course, yes, the Kyle Williams fumble of 2011.
Ooh, brutal. Was that the Eli Manning throw too in that game? Was that no? That was against the Saints, right? Was it the Saints that the Kyle Williams fumble?
No, that was against the Giants.
So that was the Eli Manning
yeah,
throw.
That was
painted the sideline with that one.
Yes, in the rain might have you.
Oh,
but not to mention, as much as I've said, as much as Kyle Williams gets blame, if you don't go 1 for 12 on third downs, you might have a chance to win the game.
Your offense didn't show up.
Correct.
Your defense was there.
Yeah. But also, the Giants could lay back because I don't know why they defer from this, but I just know in that first half, Victor Cruz was torching Carlos Rogers.
He was saucing all on the field.
God.
He was saucing all over.
I don't know why Tom Coughlin stopped getting him the ball in the second half, but Victor Cruz was torturing the Niners secondary.
Yeah, he was saucing.
But the Giants secondary couldn't stop Vernon Davis because Vernon Davis was getting all over the goddamn.
What's my motto? What was as much as I dislike this team, but my motto, with the moment they drafted Vernon Davis, I told my brother here, I said, hey, y'all want to win, you find 85 because 85 stayed open. He was always open.
Give him the damn ball.
I mean, even when he was covered, he was open. That was when, man, I gotta rinse my mouth out for talking about that Niner talk right there. That was just too much. That's too much love.
Anyhow,
but it was true.
True. But anyhow, what it just seems like with my team is just stupid play calling. Super Bowl 47. Jim Harbaugh.
Go ahead.
Greg Roman.
How many times?
What in the hell?
How many times
are you deciding your Hall of Fame running back, future Hall of Fame running back, who retired as the third leading rusher all time in history?
Wait, before you bless him with all that, wasn't he the one that got y'all down there?
Yes.
So isn't this almost like Marshawn Lynch against the Patriots?
Yes.
But 4 times in a row? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead. I'm just going.
I know.
Because I understand.
Frank Gore gets you the 5-yard line.
Oh my goodness! Talk to him.
Then you take him out. So the one running play that you do run, you give the ball to Michael James, who, mind you, fumbled earlier in that first half of that Super Bowl.
Wasn't he having he was having a bad year?
Yes.
The whole year was it.
Now I could have lived with Kendall Hunter, but unfortunately, Kendall Hunter got hurt.
This is true.
Otherwise, I would have been okay with Kendall Hunter getting the football because Kendall Hunter was a bad man. Just watch his film at Oklahoma State. Anyhow,
enough said.
You had, and I know you have mixed feelings towards him because of the 2 years that he took off, but you had Mr. Moss wide open in the back of the end zone. Somewhere on the other side, Vernon Davis, who no Raven linebacker could cover him because he was getting open. Not to mention, at the goal line, Delaney Walker, Swiss Army knife. He's right there at the goal line wide open.
So you mean to tell me y'all had a double tight end threat and y'all didn't use it?
No, did not.
Because wait, Delaney Walker was balling that.
Yes, he was. Yes.
Because all the attention was on Vernon Davis.
Yes.
And Delaney Walker was just eating that whole, I remember. Because I kept texting you that you're like, bruh, wow. Yeah. Go ahead.
He ended up getting a nice payday by the Tennessee Titans, mind you, Delaney Walker.
Well earned.
Yes.
Well earned.
Yeah. But Greg Roman and Jim Harbaugh think that let's let Kaepernick throw to his BFF Michael Crabtree.
How many times?
Not 1, not 2, not 3, all 4 times.
And what was the same? It was the same play, right? Was it the fade route to the back of the end zone? Or did y'all even run something different?
He threw one fastball and Crabtree got tackled at the 1 yard line.
You mean Vaseline ball?
That too. Because it really didn't have no touch on it. But I go back to the game against Seattle.
Whoa.
Throwing at Crabtree.
Richard Sherman.
Tip ball and Malcolmson says, thank you very much. Not to mention, if you go back to the replay, Quentin Patton is wide open in the flat.
Oh. Well, who was your quarterback?
Colin Kaepernick.
What was his thing?
He was in love with Crabtree. He liked to throw the fastball.
Not even that. Not even that. He was a
one read guy. Yes.
That don't work in the NFL.
No, it does not.
It doesn't work.
No.
I'm sorry. You can pat the ball 4 times. You can survive in the NFL. But if you are one read quarterback, you ain't making it.
But
you ain't making it.
But even then, as we always say, as our little big brother always says, as I always say,
the Eli rule.
The number 1 rule of quarterback in the NFL: don't do the Eli. Don't pat the damn ball. Because patting the ball can get you in trouble.
Unless you Peyton Manning, because he did pat the ball a few times, and he did make. But yeah, you don't pat the ball.
But then again, when you have a big ass brainiac head like Peyton Manning does,
don't do that.
Where's the lie?
There's no lies detected.
Where's the lie?
There's no lies detected.
Okay, and I have a big ass head, but damn it, it is not the size of brainiac like Peyton Manning's head, and he has a toupee.
That's a toupee up there?
It could be. You never know.
Oh, we're giving you live exclusive stuff because I didn't even know that.
Well, to me, it looks like a toupee.
I thought he had hair.
No, Eli has the hair. And personally, I think Eli's the funnier one than Peyton.
I would agree with that. There's no argument. There's no argument with that one. Watching the Monday Night Little podcast with them, on the thing, yeah. It's Eli. Well, Eli has a better commercial.
Yes, he does. I put that shit on everything.
Yes.
Whoever let Eli said that from Red Hot, damn it, 2 thumbs up.
Yes. Yes.
I put that shit on everything.
Everything.
But I mean, it just comes to the Niners will get on the cusp, and some coaching decision will do something stupid and just break my damn heart, as it was against the Rams in the NFC title game. The Rams were the better team in that game, no question. Hence why they won the game.
Really?
They were the better team in that game because yes, and this is why I say why, because in that game, you just felt like one play was going to help the Rams just win the game. And unfortunately, Jaquaski Tartt dropping that punt from Stafford helped.
We all know the golden rule when it comes to drop interceptions.
Yeah.
You get torched in the end.
You get torched in the end. It's because, again, what was my worst nightmare when they got Matthew Stafford? God, him and Cooper Kupp.
Oh.
Good Lord.
Oh. Man, I'm just hoping that Carr Devontae Adams can just get a piece of what that chemistry happened. And that only took less than a year.
I know.
That is crazy. So imagine what they're going to do this year. I think the most stable team in that conference is the Rams.
As funny as that may sound, considering how they bought a lot of parts.
Yeah, but I believe they're the more stable team. I mean, the Cardinals are in disarray.
Yes.
The Seahawks your team are still trying to find their identity. The Seahawks don't know what they want to do because they traded away Russell Wilson. And excuse me, if you're going to have Geno Smith as your starting quarterback, yeah, he's good, but he ain't 17 seasons good. I mean, 17 weeks good.
No,
not seasons. Excuse my language. But and Drew Lock, he can get you there, but he's going to throw that interception. You're going to be like, why? So,
but the question is, well, I mean, even when they were good and going to the playoffs a consistent year, what was the knock on Seattle? They let Russell Wilson get sacked a lot. They try to keep the defense together, but never invested in the offensive line. And
yeah. But the Niners, and the Rams are the more stable division.
Well, I definitely think if of course if both teams stay healthy, I do think the NFC West is going to come down to those two teams. I think they will split the games against each other in the regular season, even though the Niners have won 7 consecutive regular season games against the Rams for whatever reason. They seem to just get up for them. But with that said, I do agree you give Trey the keys because you went all in for him to draft him number 3 for a reason.
This is the time.
And he's had a tremendous training camp. Brandon Ayuk has had a tremendous training camp.
Yeah, and starting fights.
And starting fights. But,
yeah,
but that's what happens in training camp.
What did I tell you? I said it's not good, but it's good. Certain fights that start in training camp that you get something.
Well, that's just because you want to hit somebody else who's not your teammate in pads, and you want to get the competitive juices flowing. Even though Kyle Shanahan said, "Yeah, you like to see the passion, but you're tired. You're tired of it because sometimes it happens a little bit too much. That's why sometimes joint practices are a good thing.
Fights happen to those too, though.
Yeah, but it's now team against team, and now you just go full throttle and go all in. With that said, I'm excited to see what possibly could happen because what I've been saying, why not get a mobile quarterback? Because you play you play 2 type of quarterbacks 4 times a year before Russ obviously went to the Broncos. But I mean, you deal with Kyler Murray, who's a pain.
Mm-hmm.
Being a dual threat, even though Stafford's not the dual threat he used to be,
but he is sticking that pocket.
He can.
And that's the most dangerous thing.
He can be when he needs to be. But again, what has been a staple of the West Coast offense? The damn bootleg. I know for a fact Trey Lance can run the bootleg, just like how you get happy seeing screens and pulling the guard on toss sweeps. That's how I feel when they run the bootleg because the bootleg is a staple of the West Coast offense. And
that is it. Excuse me. But yeah, that's true. And well, I'll just say this. Your coach needs to get his head out of his buns. If that ever could happen, and he tries not to outthink himself.
Yeah, stop getting cute. If something is working, stick with it.
They couldn't stop Deebo Samuel, bro.
No.
You already know what I'm talking about.
But how?
They could not stop.
But
Deebo.
Here's what I don't understand, and I hate going back to the NFC Championship game, but I have to go back to the NFC Championship game. How are you still going to not let him touch the ball for the last 12 minutes and 42 seconds of the game? For the life of me.
They couldn't stop.
I'm not understanding.
They couldn't stop Deebo, bro. They could the jet sweep. They even when they know it was coming, they couldn't stop it.
It's like Super Bowl 56. Everybody in the damn stadium, everybody that's watching on TV, you and I know where Matthew Stafford's throwing the ball to.
Oh, Cooper Kupp.
It's going to number 10.
Couldn't stop it.
It's going to Cooper Kupp.
Couldn't stop it.
But you still couldn't stop the man. I'm just saying, if it was me, if I'm going to go down, I'm going down with my superstar. I'm going down with the number 19.
They couldn't stop the jet sweep.
Do you dare think Emmitt Smith's not touching the ball from Troy Aikman? Do you dare even not think that Walter Payton's not going to get the ball from Jim McMahon?
Well, let me jump the sport real quick while we're on the subject of why somebody is hot and you're not giving them the ball. Now, this is a homer moment. When Klay Thompson get hot, what's the offense until he's not hot?
Give the ball to number 11.
When Steph Curry is going ape shit, I said ape shit. What's happened with that offense?
Give the ball to Wardell.
Let's rewind back to football. Now, we witnessed when we watched the whole game and you're knowing they're giving the ball to this person or the ball is going to this person. And you mean to tell me you can't stop it? You know it. The DC coordinator knows it. Everybody in the, like you said, Cooper Kupp. And what was the result? Giving the ball to Cooper Kupp?
Cooper Kupp scored the game-winning touchdown, and the Rams won the Super Bowl.
I mean, I just rest my case. Like you feed the hot hand. And that's one thing that I'll give Harbaugh credit because he coached the Niners, whatever. In his press conference, every press conference, just gonna ride the hot hand. Whoever has a hot hand, we're gonna go there. That got y'all to the Super Bowl.
Correct.
And that burned y'all in the Super Bowl.
Correct.
But it got y'all there. That's the
correct.
So,
but however,
you tried to overfeed it though.
I'm riding and dying with Frank Gore. I'm just I'm just saying, if you stop Frank Gore 4 times, God bless you, I'll be the first to tip my cap.
Just like Marshawn Lynch couldn't get 1 yard.
Couldn't get 1 yard.
You mean to tell me they didn't stop? He didn't go backwards.
Not one time.
That whole Super Bowl.
And if it wasn't for Wins Wolford sticking his big hand, Marshawn would have found the end zone, and you would have had to give him Marshawn the MVP.
Well, we knew he wasn't going to do it.
I know.
You still could have gave Russell Wilson the MVP.
You could have.
Just give the man the damn ball. This is why I sit here. This is why we do this, because certain things that I see and my brain doesn't wrap around it. I'd be like, I'm doing that. I'm giving Marshawn Lynch the ball. Even if it comes from up there, hey, we throwing this. Excuse me? We doing what? This is the Super Bowl. Look here. If Marshawn Lynch gets that 1 yard and we win the Super Bowl and you fire me, guess what? I am leaving. I'm getting fired winning the Super Bowl. Guess what? That means somebody signing me to a bigger contract. That's how I look at it.
That's why I give Jim McMahon credit, because he used to call audibles on the time on Mike Ditka. Perfect example. You go back to the 85 season. Week 3 against the Vikings on Monday night. The Bears are losing. McMahon comes in off the bench, calls an audible, throws 2 deep passive first touchdowns, and Mike's like, what the hell are you doing? McMahon's response,
trying to win this game, Bob.
We scored, didn't we?
Trying to win this game, Bob.
That was his response. Okay. Sometimes you have to go against the grain, and sometimes you just have to throw it up and go deep. Anyhow, with that said, this upcoming week is a full plethora of preseason football games. So get your NFL Plus subscriptions. You can watch out of market preseason games or just watch the NFL Network. But anyways, starting Thursday, the 11th, there's 2 games. You got the Patriots and Giants, and you have and you have the Titans and Ravens. You got games on Friday. My team plays the Cheeseheads at Gene Stadium at Great America.
Go, Pat, go.
Even in preseason, he gives me crap. Oh, just wait till week 1 when I get the yearly texts from him and from Dad. That means my football season has started. Falcons and Lions, Browns and Jaguars, Cardinals and Bengals, Jets and Eagles. Then Saturday, you got another slate of games with the Chiefs and the Bears, the Panthers and the damn Commanders.
The Commies?
The Commies.
Wait, how did we get there? Like, who was it? Who was the committee that just looked there and was like, we're gonna
go with Commanders?
You know what? I guarantee you. Breaking news. This is how they got the name.
Oh no.
Here it is right here.
Oh no.
So they were in a room, right? Right. So whoever had the biggest money in that room, they blindfolded, right? So they had a board. So they blindfolded, he just Commanders.
I will never for life of me understand why they go with that name. 2 years. 2 years you did a search, and the best you can come up with is Commanders.
We could do a whole episode of how they dropped the ball on that.
Yes, we could.
I don't think we will do that. That might have to be like a plus episode. And we don't even have a plus.
No. Colts and Bills, Seahawks, Steelers, Dolphins, Buccaneers, Saints, Texans, Cowboys, Broncos, and the Battle of Inglewood in Inglewood with the Rams and Chargers. And then rounding out the Sunday lineup would be the Vikings going to the Death Star in the Owl to play your beloved Raiders. Which, if I have some money left, I might actually go watch that game in person live. I don't know yet.
Yes. And Kim, while we're still doing this, because it seems like we're getting to the winding up the part. Before we end this, I just want to say, because we do have those fans on it that watches this, F the Dodgers, okay? I don't give a damn what you did to my Giants, okay? So like passion that's coming out right now. I don't care, because guess what? You're half champions. You didn't play a full season. And you're not going to win the World Series this year. Just because you swept my Giants. Now, take that as I give you the Shawn Michaels gift. Okay.
I second that.
Okay. I'm
And
happy now.
And,
I have to get that off because these I know a lot of Dodger fans, man.
As do I. And rightfully so. You guys have the best record in baseball. Rightfully so.
Win a championship when you win 100, when you play 162 games.
Which you still haven't done that since.
Just talk to me, and then I will applaud you. You do that, but until then, you're still half-season champions, just like the Lakers, bubble champions.
It wasn't even a half season. It wasn't even a third. It was a 60-game season.
Well, I don't. Wait. The Dodgers only play 60 games.
Well, they won in 2020. Yes, it was a 60-game season.
So you mean to tell me it wasn't even?
Not even a third of a season.
Oh.
Now, yes, in the record books, it will say you won the World Series.
Asterisk. How about that? Asterisk.
Any other now, if you ask the question, well, the Giants won, we would have said the same damn thing. It didn't count.
I will say that with all Warriors, Sixers, Raiders, Sharks, Giants.
If it's not a full season,
I don't recognize you as a champion.
If it's not a full season, if it's not a full season, yeah, you'll get the banner, you'll get the ring, but you won't get credit from us.
I won't buy that shirt. Won't do it. Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Pick your helmet up. You're out of here.
Cannot win with them. Cannot coach them. Cannot win with them. Can't do it. But hopefully the Giants are getting back on the right track as they went across the bridge. And
they played the worst team in baseball. That's what they were supposed to do.
I agree.
That's what you're supposed to do to a team.
Which is why some of my Dodger friends were like getting all excited because I said, yeah, you swept the Giants, but you swept the Giants that mainly had a whole bunch of minor leaguers. That's what you're supposed to do.
What did Pop say? I don't know. None of these guys.
Yes, that's a fact. But they did what they were supposed to do. Okay, now, in this case, hopefully we can take the momentum against the Padres because the Padres, even with their new people, they just got swept by the Dodgers. And the Padres record against the Dodgers this year is 2-8.
And I thought that was going to be a better series than that.
So did I.
I sat here and told you once they got, but here's the thing. This is what it is. You can't buy a championship.
No, you can't.
Well, no, I take that back. If you're a Dodger fan, you can buy a 60-game championship.
But when it came to a full season, they got beat by the Atlanta Braves.
Oh wait, ain't Kershaw hurt again?
He's on the IL, yes.
You know what? It's about time maybe to wash that up.
Yeah, it might be time for him to retire.
It might be that time. That's all I'm saying. Okay, that's enough. That's enough.
But
Dodger.
But I will say this. Jacob deGrom made his first start of the season.
Ooh.
And he looks like Jacob deGrom.
Ooh.
Him and Max Scherzer in a short series. I don't know if I want that smoke. So don't sleep on the New York Metropolitans, who just took 4 of 5 from the Atlanta Braves
And
this past weekend.
They're playing good baseball.
Yeah, they are. But again, like I said, the minute they hired Buck Showalter to be the manager, you knew things were changing in Queens. Now,
Well-
I don't know how that's going to turn out in October, but adding Buck to that team, you knew they were going to play better defense.
I agree with that.
You know they were going to be fundamentally sound.
Yeah.
And you know they were not going to make a lot of mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
And thus, that's why the Mets have the third best record in baseball behind the Yankees and the Dodgers.
But you know what I say? How we said in football, the old doesn't work. Baseball, old works. If you get the right, look with Dusty Baker. Dusty Baker has been winning everywhere he's
gone.
And he ain't changed squat.
No.
Buck Showalter been around. Buck has been a coach, booth, coach. Man, he knows what to do. And that's baseball, old schools tend to work better than the new school.
And unfortunately for Buck, he got the bang on the stick when Steinbrenner fired him because I mean, and Yankee fans gave Steinbrenner a lot of help for hiring Joe Torre in the first because Joe Torre was not that successful in his stint with the Cardinals. Now, granted, yes, Torre went on to do amazing things as manager of the Yankees, but
he took on the Buck Showalter change.
Yes, he did. Because I mean, granted, yes, the Yankees have not had a losing season since 1992, I believe. Buck Showalter, yeah, it's been that long. Damn near 30 years since the last time the Yankees have had a losing season.
I was 9.
Yeah, we were both in 9. Yes, the last time the Yankees had a losing record. Yes, yes, it's been that damn long.
Like we about to be 40 years old.
Yes, yes.
Yo, see, that's what happens when you got a pedigree. You know what you establish what works. That's damn near about to be the Patriots, man. I don't get, I can't. I don't like to say that, but
well,
when you have when you have a pedigree works.
Yes, it does. I mean, once you establish the tradition, it just continues. Then sometimes the only thing you can really do is tip your cap because once it comes down from the top on down, the rest comes into fruition. And I mean,
the Red Sox fall in that category too. They at one point it was them and the Yankees, and when you turned the TV on, it was the Red Sox and the Yankees.
Even though I still think the Dodgers Giants is the better rivalry of the two.
I agree to that, but I would say that I had a little bit of love for the Red Sox because they had one player on their team, and he is my favorite baseball player in the whole wide world.
Well, I would like to thank the Dodgers for training with the Expos because I didn't want that problems if he would stay with the Dodgers. Because a lot of people know Pedro originally was a Dodger.
Thank you.
But thank God he went to Montreal.
And that's where he became.
That's where your love affair for Pedro began.
He was a Montreal Expo.
Even though Darryl Strawberry took him deep for a grand slam as a Giant. It was off of Pedro back in '94. I remember it well.
Yeah, but Pedro Martinez is if there was like that television show, if you had a lifeline and you had to call somebody,
you would call Pedro.
No. I would call Pop, and then it was like, "Hello, Mr. Mason. We have your son here. Who's his favorite baseball player?" Oh, he would hit Pedro Martinez. Click.
Would you like to phone a friend?
Wait, but probably you and him are and little Big Brother will probably know who. If I to say, who's my favorite baseball player? Everybody knows it's Pedro Martinez. That's that dude. That man pitched his ass off.
Well, when you do what he did at the '99 All-Star game,
thank you.
and those names, I don't need to say anything else.
Mm-mm.
But also, and yes, I'm gonna have another Homer moment.
Well, hell, why would we have Homer moments? This is a one screen show that this I don't know when the next time this is ever going to happen. So, if we run this one a little late, apologies.
Actually, we don't apologize because again, this is the first time this has happened side by side, no camera, no split screen. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this, and definitely we will do many more the next time we link back up together. Be it if I'm in California or he's in Nevada, but definitely make the most of it. But having a Homer moment, the reason why I bleed orange and black finally got his due, finally got his retired number, and looks to me he still wants to go inside the batter's box and take a swing because he was just as intense as he was given his speech while making his declaration of love for the Giants fans. But Will Clark, forever Giant, is, as he said, this was his Hall of Fame, getting number 22 retired. And the only thing I regret is the fact that him and Barry Bonds only played 1 year together. But damn it, that 1 year they played together was magical, winning 103 games, but unfortunately losing the division by one damn game. But just want to give shout out and kudos to him because he earned it, he deserved it. But also, not just him, but also kudos to Jack Clark, the Ripper, because he wore 22 also tremendously before Will came there in 86. But want to give Will Clark his due for having his number retired.
Yes.
But it is starting to become the best part of the year because the pigskin is vastly approaching, and starting this Thursday until February, we won't be footballless again, which I know makes this guy, as you can see, very, very happy with the big cheese on his face.
And we're going to have to get better. I know we give you more shows when football season around. We're going to get better with being more weekly with what we do, but football is this man's is it's like our DNA. I don't understand, but football is.
And it's not just the teams that we root for. We try to implement all 32 teams because it's everywhere. Of course, as you know, it's football. Yes, as you know, NFL Plus is out now. Unfortunately, you don't get to stream all the live out of market games.
I just thought on the commercial I saw that they said it's preseason and the regular season.
Really?
Yeah.
They better not be playing with my emotions.
We might, when the show ends here in a second, we might have to
research that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll more update when we get more information.
But yes, you can get NFL Plus. You can subscribe to it, stream it. Hopefully they will have that option next year, as of course, as you know, Sunday Ticket will become a free agent. And right now in the works, it still looks like Apple TV may be
got it. Let's go
in the rankings of getting Sunday Ticket.
Let's go.
Because some of us don't like going to sports books or bars to watch our team. Sometimes we like to be in the comfortability of our own couch, because if we're gonna cuss at our team, no better place to do it than in your own seat, in your room, be it man cave, be it in the living room, wherever you are watching your team, in the confines of your own home.
Yes.
You sometimes just want to cuss them out and be like, what the heck is wrong with you? Unless you're at the stadium. Which we were trying to be there for New Year's Day because
$700.
This only happens once every 4 years.
$700 just to walk inside the stadium.
No, thank you.
I got a family of 5. You do the math.
That'd be a lot of money. Now, unless one of us hits the Powerball, hits the lottery, different story.
Wait, and only 3 of us is Raider fans.
It is house divided, needless to say.
Football is here.
Yes.
Yes.
Football is here. And not to mention November, the World Cup is here also.
Oh. Now, see, you might get a little daily dose of soccer and, football.
Football and
And
football
football.
Americano.
See, yeah, well, yes, I can't wait. But yes. But thank you for whoever is going to view this, because I don't know when this is ever going to happen again.
Hopefully in October or November. January for sure when he joins the 40-40 club after I join it first.
Honestly, I don't think that weekend you're not going to get me to do a show. It's not going to happen.
If his Raiders are in the playoffs, different story. If they happen to just be in the conference championship game, different story.
There's nothing Alka-Seltzer can fix.
Alka-Seltzer to the rescue.
And ginger ale.
And 7-Up. But yeah, football is fastly approaching, and thus you will see a lot more shows because the pigskin brings it all together.
For some odd reason.
That's just what it does. But yes,
indeed.
we'd like to thank you to our subscribers. We appreciate you. We love you guys. And also, again, thank y'all for the views on the Kelly versus.
Wow.
So
112 views. That's our first most viewed show. And the topic wasn't even sports. So that's what this platform is about. Whenever a topic needs to be talked about, we will do it. And again, like we say, if you have anything you would like for us to talk about, we'll take it on. We'll sit and discuss it. We'll research it. We'll even bring on anybody that wants to discuss the situation that
knows it better than we do, because again, we're just like to be the platform to let them express their feelings and what they like to say. But there is one thing I would like to say, and it goes to the sweet science. Why in the hell is Adrian Moore fighting? Why? Why? I know the fight was supposed to happen 2 years ago between him and Brandon Figueroa Jr. But I'm just trying to, for the life of me, I'm trying to understand, why would somebody give him a license to fight? I know it's under Al Heyman. I know it's under PBC. But for the life of me, why are you fighting?
You don't even know.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, the last fight that he fought, he said in a quote, "Y'all know I won the fight." Really? What were you fighting? Because the fight I saw, the fight he saw, you were not winning the fight. But also, kudos to Danny Swift Garcia, who was outstanding and just immaculate in his first fight at 154. He was tremendous. He completely dominated the fight against Benavidez. Good job by Swift.
Yeah.
But of course, the fight that he wants, the fight that I want, we are tired of the talking.
Just sign the contract.
We are tired of.
Give me the press conference.
We're this close.
Just give me the press conference.
Can we get a press conference of Earl Spence and Bud Crawford staring at each other eye to eye, face to face? Man, that's all we want.
Because I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna find a way to get the cash to get to that fight. I've been to a boxing event, but I ain't been to nothing that extravagant of that magnitude. I got to see that live. That ranks up about want to go see WrestleMania, and that's another subject. But again, my brother, it was here in live. You gotta
one screen,
man. Yes, thank you. Subscribe, comment. We love you guys.
And if there's a topic you want us to tackle, and even if we're not knowledgeable of that subject, you are more than welcome to come on that show and talk about that subject, because again, we do this for y'all, the people, because we try to give the people what they want.
Yes.
But for now, we are going to say so long for now. He is Mizzle. I am Dub. Again, we always thank you for watching the Mizzle Dub Show. And in closing, and as always, damn it, it's 5 o'clock. Some damn where.